Hello, and welcome to your IELTS review video. In today's episode, we're talking about buildings, so let's get started. Should old buildings be preserved? Could say, yes, old buildings should be preserved because they hold historical and cultural value. Or, certainly, the preservation of old buildings is crucial, not only for their historical significance, but also for maintaining a sense of cultural heritage. Another question that could be asked is, how do people in your country feel about old buildings? In my country, people generally have positive feelings about old buildings as they reflect our history. Or, a more advanced answer, you could say something like, the sentiment towards old buildings in my country is largely positive, as they serve as tangible links to our past and cultural identity. What is interesting about old buildings? Old buildings often have unique architectural details and tell stories of the past. Or, the intriguing aspect of old buildings lies in their distinct architectural features that provide insights into the bygone areas that they belong to. Is the appearance of a public building as important as its functionality? Yes, the appearance of a public building is important, but functionality is also crucial. While the aesthetic appeal of a public building holds significance, its functionality remains equally essential. Is the appearance of a building important? Indeed. The appearance of a building plays a significant role in creating first impressions and contributing to the overall environment. Or, absolutely. The visual aspect of a building carries substantial weight in shaping perceptions and enhancing the overall ambience. What are the most important things when designing a public building? When designing a public building, factors like accessibility, safety, and aesthetics are vital. Or, key contributions in the design of a public building encompass elements such as accessibility, safety features, and aesthetic appeal. Does the design of a building influence people's mood? You could say, yes, the design of a building can impact people's mood and well-being. Or certainly, the architectural design of a building has the potential to influence the emotional state and overall wellness of individuals. Do more people live in houses or apartments in the country? In my country, a significant number of people live in apartments due to urbanization. Or, due to urbanization trends, a considerable portion of the population in my country resides in apartments. Who should be responsible for preserving old buildings? The responsibility of preserving old buildings should be shared between the government and local communities. Or, you could say, the preservation of old buildings should be a collaborative effort involving both government authorities and local communities. Should the local community be consulted about the design of new buildings? Yes, involving the local community in the design process of new public buildings ensures that the structure aligns with their needs and preferences. Or certainly, incorporating the input of the local community in the design of new public buildings is crucial for creating spaces that cater to the needs and preferences. Okay, that's all the questions we have today. Next up is our reading passage. Please read along. It's intended to give you more of an insight into the topic at hand. Historical architecture reflects the artistic, cultural, and technological achievements of the past. Preservation and revival of old buildings have become important topics, and balancing between preserving heritage and accommodating modern needs. Retaining a sense of identity and heritage for future generations, as old buildings hold intrinsic historical and cultural value. They offer insights into lifestyles, values, and architectures of the past. Maintaining a balance between aesthetic appeal and functionality, the appearance of a building shapes perceptions and enhances the ambience, prioritizing functionality, accessibility, and safety in contemporary times. The local community's role is involvement of local communities is paramount. Consulting the community fosters a sense of ownership and investment, and local knowledge contributes to accurate and authentic restoration efforts. Enriching cultural landscapes and promoting pride and identity, preserving and reviving old buildings have economic benefits and attracting tourism and generating revenue for local economies. Preserving efforts have challenges. Specialized skills and materials can drive up costs. Innovative technologies aid in overcoming challenges and balancing preservation and modern amenities. In conclusion, preservation and revival offer a window into the past, foster a sense of continuity in the ever-changing world, and engage local communities to ensure the longevity of historical architecture. Okay, I hope you found that insightful. Next up is our range of vocabulary expressions. Take a look. Conservation, heritage, revival, aesthetic, functional, intrinsic, roots, identity, ambience, authentic, cultural landscape, economic revitalization, tourism revenue, restoration, community engagement, continuity, specialized skills, preservation efforts, local knowledge, sustainable construction, cultural heritage conservation, restoring historical grandeur, preserving our past for the future, balancing tradition and modernity, custodians of history, fusing the old and the new, bridging the past and the present, community-driven restoration and revitalizing urban heritage, recreating historical context, embracing architectural diversity, legacy of craftsmanship, restoring architectural integrity, architectural nostalgia, integrating the old world channel, sustainable heritage, cultural continuity, reviving the spirit of the past. And lastly, we have our paraphrasing exercises. Take a go at putting these into your own words at home. What is the difference between living in the countryside and the city? You could say, how does rural life contrast to urban living? Is it good for elderly people to live in large cities? Is it beneficial for citizens to reside in metropolis areas? In paraphrasing statements, instead of saying the appearance of the building plays a crucial role in attracting people, you could say the visual aspect of a structure is significant in captivating individuals. Instead of saying some individuals argue that watching TV doesn't contribute to development of useful skills, you could say there is a viewpoint that television viewing does not, and in the end, acquisition of practical abilities. And lastly, the paraphrasing descriptions which are on your own form. As always, thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.